As Kapil mentioned, I am Ashesh Acharya. I am an optometrist by profession, and I take care of the vision care division actually. So it is a unit of Drishti eye care system which deals with the ophthalmic products like Zeiss ophthalmic lenses for Nepal, Cooper vision contact lenses, eyewear like Iris ID image, gaze, and the Manicon Rose K contact lenses, and many more. So the basic idea of doing this presentation is the main thing is like we all are locked down inside our homes. So at the same time, we can think upon for the future and we can think something out of the box. That's why I thought of doing the presentation. I'm not nearby an entrepreneur, so please don't take me as an entrepreneur. So good afternoon to you all. We can see in the slide that the entrepreneur word itself is surrounded by different other words. So by here we can come to know is that the if a person wants to be an entrepreneur, definitely the person should have a few qualities with them. So those qualities are like innovations in their thinking, the power of the knowledge. They should have business mind or business in their mind. They should have a good team to work with them. Alone, nobody can become an entrepreneur, and they should have a good quality of leadership because without a leader, you can reach nowhere. If you want to become an entrepreneur, we should be very assertiveness in nature, and the main important thing is like we should have a capacity to bear the risk or tolerate the risk. Okay, so if you think like if you have those qualities or those things inside you, definitely you are already in the way of becoming an entrepreneur. So as you all are optometrists here, or most of us are eye care professions. So if we possess those all things inside us, definitely we are already on the way to the entrepreneur. So here, what I am going to discuss is like who are the entrepreneur, what they become if they become an entrepreneur, and how they do it. So let's start by this point like trendsetters. So whoever is an entrepreneur, they are the trendsetters. So what does it mean? Is like a person who is trendsetters are those who start a new thing. Okay, so who think out of the box, or who do the things in the different thing, a different way. So the trend setters are those people like we can take the example of like Kabir Singh, who took one different type of sunglass to use in the Kabir Singh, and then it became very famous. Even like Mark Zuckerberg, he did Facebook, which is very novel. We did different things, and now he's a very well renowned entrepreneur. So if we want to become an entrepreneur, the first thing that we have to do is like we have to be a trendsetter, or we have to think something in the different manner. The regular in doing the regular things is very difficult to become an entrepreneur. So at the time when you are an entrepreneur, or when you are thinking as an entrepreneur, you are the decision maker for that time, and you have to create something new, okay, in the market. So at the same time, entrepreneur is a social celebrities. When they become a social celebrities, they will start getting the people who follows them. Entrepreneur will be followed by the people, and at the same time, the entrepreneur should think that when the people start getting follow, and when they will have a lot of follower, then it will be expanded, and for that you have to reward that in the terms of finance. So you should be financially very strong, as well as you have to take consideration for the society as well. You should think for the society as well, like what you can do as become an entrepreneur. So you become same time, if you think about the society, you become a social or responsible citizens for the society, and for the people who like follows you. You become the guide. They start trusting you for a patient. If you open a clinic, then you are the guide. People will start trusting upon you. But this point I would like to highlight, you have to devote lot of time and effort. Okay, so if you are thinking to become an entrepreneur, like you should be the first person who open your clinic, and you should be the last person who closes the clinic. Okay, so you can go on the sleep in the regular time. Means entrepreneur, what I have read so far is like they are the people who are tremendously hardworking. Okay, so if we are thinking to become an entrepreneur, then definitely one of the very important thing is to devote lot of time and effort in terms of research, effort in terms of work. Okay, so then you become a role model. If you think as an entrepreneur, you become a role model, you become a leader for the people, you become inspirational person for the people. At the same time, another important thing that I would like to highlight is to acknowledge the necessary risks as well. If we are thinking to become an entrepreneur, if we are thinking to become a person who do something in the scalable level or in the large level, there is always risk involved, risks of your time, risks of investment. So we should always keep in the mind that risk is always there. So I would like to conclude this presentation, this slide actually. See, if we are thinking to become an entrepreneur, we have to start something new. At that time, we are the decision maker and we are the risk bearer at the same time. Okay, so as an optometrist, what people thinks mostly is like optometrists are those people who write the prescription or who does the eye checkup or suggest the lenses so far. Okay, and this is the main thing what means ordinary or a lay person thinks. But in the reality, optometrists are much more than that. We are definitely a healthcare practitioners, and we take care of rehabilitation of the visual system. We are able to manage the diseases. We are able to detect, diagnose some part, manage the diseases as well, like treat the diseases, and refraction and dispensing is always the backbone for us. So where are the opportunities? If you go to the data, almost there are 2.2 billion people who have the visual impairment or blindness, among which almost half, that is 1 billion, are unaddressed visual impairment for the distance as well as near. There are people who are still not corrected for their presbyopia as well. Okay, so this is a very big opportunities that is coming for us in the future. So these are, there are a lot of, still there are a lot of population which are still not solved by the optometrist or by the optician. So there is still scope, like we are not in the saturated level that okay, everybody is wearing the glasses and now like we don't have any scopes in the future. Definitely there is a scope. You can see the data from WHO. 1 billion population in the world is still not getting proper or not getting the distance or near visual impairment, and that's why they are still visual impaired. So if you see the Brand Holden Institute data, okay, so here you can see how the myopia is progressing and going to be in the year 2050. There are almost 52% or almost half of the population is going to be myopic in 2050. So it's a big burden for the healthcare system and a country in the future. But that is the sad part. But the best part is like you can be the part of that management of that such a big burden. Okay, so myopia control is definitely gonna be a very big topic in the future where you can work upon and you can see how the progression is going on. So think, if you are thinking to become an entrepreneur, think what you can do for this outgoing like populations for the myopia, what you can do for the myopia in the future, how you are gonna address that those populations, what you can do a significant contribution in the management of myopia. So as an optometrist, there are a lot of the things that we can do. And the private eye clinic is always a backbone for us. Most of us, what we do is like getting some experience in the hospital and open a private eye clinic. Definitely, there is a most common things that everyone is doing. But in Nepal, I don't know. In India, I think in India there are some private, and excuse me. So in the India, I know like there are some independent binocular vision clinic which is being run, but in Nepal so far there is no separate or individual binocular vision clinic. There is no low vision clinic as well in Nepal. So as an optometrist, you can open your independent binocular vision clinic, low vision clinic. The contact lens clinic is going to be a boom in the future because definitely, as you can see, how the myopia is progressing day by day. So there is a big like scope of the contact lenses as well. The prosthetic contact lenses is always a good scope for a optometrist, professional optometrist who works in an institute. You can head MNCs. There are a lot of multinational companies coming in Nepal as well as I think in the India also. In Nepal, like Bosch and Lomb, Zeiss, and other different companies are keeping their eyes to come. So they must be seeing some people who can address their need in the Nepal. So you can head the MNCs definitely, and you can become a consultation or a consultant or a trainer for your like junior optometrist, for ophthalmic assistants, even for optometrist. What you can do is like you can create a module of training for an optician about the dispensing. Okay, as well as you can make a module for this low vision, module for this contact lenses, and much more. Means see, it's about like thinking what we can do and what we can implement, but there is still lot of scopes where we are not working upon. Research is always a very good topic, and the myopia progression, anything related to the myopia is going to be much more beneficial in the future days. So if like we can work upon these all things, it's not like you should have a separate binocular vision clinic or separate low vision clinic. You can incorporate that, but if you are thinking of like opening a binocular vision clinic or low vision clinic in a separate manner, what we have to do is like most important thing, a good referral system. You alone cannot do it anywhere. You should have a good referral system. You should have your colleagues who should be referring the patient to you. You should join hand with your eye care professional like ophthalmologist or ophthalmic assistant to send the referral for low vision, either for the vernacular vision clinic, either for the contact lenses, either for the prosthetic contact lenses, prosthetic clinic, sorry. So these all things are like still a big gapping, because we are only concentrated on the private eye clinic rather other sub-speciality of the optometrist. So and they definitely the myopia control is a very big topic for the future. Even you can have your own myopia control clinic if you have enough knowledge and enough resources to address that. So to become an entrepreneur, definitely there is some brighter side as well as the darker side. Okay, because becoming an entrepreneur is not that easy, and everyone is not an entrepreneur. Because when you think of an entrepreneur, there is a lot of risk associated with that. That is the darker part. You have to devote your time. Okay, you have at the same time when others are doing a secure job, you have to struggle for your business. That is the darker side. But what is the brighter side? Once you overcome that, then that is the you are the what you call driver of your destiny. Okay, so in these two picture, if you know the upper one is Mr. Ernest Away, you must heard about the Away value. So Away value is like the whiteness of the material of a lens property. So Ernest Away is himself is a scientist as well as he is a what you call entrepreneur as well, because he is the co-founder of Carl Zeiss company, which is one of the biggest company for the medical as well as ophthalmic products. And the below picture is Mr. Paul Rose, who invented the Rose K contact lenses, which is one of the now the best remedy for the keratoconus patient and other eclectic conditions. So, if you want to be an entrepreneur, first and foremost thing you should be is like you should be very disciplined in the manner of like in your education, in your attitude, everywhere the discipline is the most important thing, which we are being taught from our childhood. And the confidence is another thing, like whatever you are going to start, it can be a clinic, it can be your own like optical, it can be your chain optical, it can be any online portal, anything. You should be confident enough that you can do it, and you should have enough like resources has been done. You should have a good attitude to carry or execute those things. And another thing is like you should be very eager to learn, because if you are close minded, definitely like you can never learn. So you should have the enthusiasm to study, and you should be very open minded for the things that is going to changes. One thing you should keep in the mind is like today you tried something, and if it is not working, at the same time the ego might come into the place. So at that time sometimes you have to stop that thing and think in the different way. So you should be open minded for that as well, and open minded for the ideas as well. Ideas from the surrounding or your teammates or your subordinates. And the knowledge is the base for everything. You have to learn, read. Okay, if you want to become an entrepreneur, what I am finding in my like study, I'm also studying about the entrepreneurs. Those peoples are the book loving people, and those people read a lot. Definitely we have to be equipped with the enough knowledge if you want to become an entrepreneur. And the foremost thing is the clarity in our thought. Like if sometime some person is coming to you saying, oh, this is not good, and that time you stop that, somebody is coming, oh, this is good, then you start following them, then definitely you can reach nowhere. Okay, so you should have very, very good clarity on the thought, what we are going to do, how you are gonna execute that, who people are your target audiences, who people are your team members, how you are gonna execute that, how long it's gonna take to become a very, very in the sustainable phase. Okay, so you should be very clear in your ideas, what we are doing and how we are gonna do. Okay, for that we have to do enough resources, and you have a good what you call the processes in your mind. For optometrist, you can definitely have a very, very good referral programs if you want to start anything. Okay, like online portals or your clinic, any type of the clinics, you should have a good referral programs from your eye care, similar eye care professionals like ophthalmologists and ophthalmic assistants, or from opticians. The joint ventures are some very good methods, like you know or don't know. I just like to tell you, like Google is already doing joint venture with NASA for the Google Map. Similarly, Toyota and BMW are joining hands together for a hydrogen something project. So a lot of the big companies work together to cut their cost, as well as to get an additive effect. Okay, so for this also you should be very, very open minded. You should not be telling that, okay, he's like my enemy or he's like my competitor, why should I join hand with him? Definitely join ventures, lot of the places are very, very successful, but at the same time your attitude should be very, very good, and you should be very, very friendly in the nature. Otherwise it can be a very, very big disaster as well. So then joint venture is always a good things if it goes in a good way. Private practice always the backbone for optometrist. You can always do private practice as well as other things also with the private practice. And online portals is going to be a boom in the future for all the optometrists. So there are a few very, very good steps taken by optometrists in the Nepal. I can see Trek and Treat by I think Sakar and Ritsen and his team. Like they are, what they are doing is like they are going to the remote places of the Nepal, to the mountain area, and serving the people. And similarly, like they are doing some I think seed contact lenses. They have introduced seed contact lenses also in Nepal. For Optom is a good platform, even that is run by them, I think so. There also there's education portals as well. And myself, I am taking care of the vision care division, and my goal is to like introduce a lot of brands in the Nepal, so that what brands does is like to it will help you to increase the ticket size while you are selling the products to the customer. There is iHealth Nepal, an online portal which is doing very good in terms of lot of information, in terms of vacancies, in terms of lot of announcement for Nepal, as well as Kapil. I really glad that you are doing really appreciable job for all the students or upcoming optometrists who are the very raw in nature. So far, they are getting very good guidance. As you told, you have already completed around 52 sessions so far. So this is a very phenomenal job you have done, and I would like to congratulate you as well. And I would like to tell these are the small steps that have been taken in for the in the way of the entrepreneurship. See, it's just it can be the beginning, and you can, if you can do it in the larger manner, if you can have a good team, if you have a surrounded with the good people around you, and if you start thinking globally, definitely it's the same thing what entrepreneur does in the first step. So I like to congratulate these all people who have taken good steps in the milestone of this in Nepal. And to conclude this, like to become an entrepreneur, it always starts with a single step. The journey is like always start with a small thing, but we should not compare ourselves with others. Okay, they have already grown up, they are big chain, or they are a big name, so I cannot compete with them. You can create your own picture, you can create your own identity. And you definitely, I always focus on joining hands with all your colleagues, all your eye care professionals, all your friends, your juniors. And this is the one of the best things to do, and this is the foundation for all the business entrepreneurship, that the more channel or the more people you have to work with you or join hands with you, you are always going to be successful. And always explore the possibilities, think for the future what can be done for the future times, and what are there, what other possible way we can do it, and what other things um, as a possibility. And we should always think globally, not the locally. If we are thinking as an entrepreneur, we should think globally, and we should think about the scalability, scalability. It, if it is in the initial level, it can be small, but when you think about the entrepreneur, it is always large. Okay, so I want to put few points what may change after COVID, as we all are living in the COVID era. So one of the important thing, when we are gonna open a clinic, or when we are gonna open any type of like startup, where the we are dealing with the customer, the patient will be seeking for the safety first. Okay, so I request everyone to work upon that. Always work for the patient safety. Otherwise, patient won't feel, if they won't feel safe in your premises, definitely they are gonna go in the other places and they will never come back. Okay, so after the post COVID, the challenge may be the safety factor. You have to be very, very safe for yourself as well as the customers. The way of shopping may be gonna change. People may buy most of the things from online or from the home, or any other way of the shopping may be coming. So this can be a challenge as well as an opportunity for us. The ticket sizes, people might be feeling reluctant to buy, because people might be feeling a little bit like fear of spending. So at this time, you should be thinking how you can increase the ticket size. Okay, by doing cross selling or upselling. What does this mean? It's like, either when somebody is coming for a glasses, means a frame, then you can end up with the sunglasses or contact lenses. If you want to increase the ticket size, because the patient might come lesser in the number in the future days if we are running a private practice. And there will be a consumer awareness in the future days. This is also going to be very, very challenging. People will surf a lot of internet, they will do Google, they will see all the brands available in the market, they will see the price. There will be coming a lot of e-commerce site online, where they will be knowing price of each brand, each product, and they will ask more question about you. So you should be equipped with the knowledge and ready to face those challenging situations, that patient already knows the price of this product is there, so you can't put it higher. So how you gonna tackle that? So this is a big, big challenge that is coming in the future days. Even nowadays, you should think that patient is more like aware of certain products than you. Okay, so at that time we should be able to realize that, sorry, I don't know this product, I don't know this was present in the market. So you have to acknowledge, or you have to realize sometime like that as well. So these are the changes that may gonna happen. And another thing is like the competitive market. For all those people who thinks about the entrepreneurship, please think the market is gonna be very, very competitive. And the price, every company want to put the same price or lower than that. Every time you have to face that challenge, and you should be planned, or you should be already thinking of how you gonna tackle that situations, so that you won't end up with the trouble. So I request everyone who think of becoming an entrepreneur, or who start thinking of doing something else, which others are not doing, or thinking out of the box, something new. Definitely there are a lot of the things risks associated with, but there are opportunities as well. But one thing I like to tell is like, entrepreneurship is not a one day thing. It is a like continuous process, where the hard work, discipline, your what you call energy, your devotion for the time, everything is very, very mandatory. And if you can handle those all things, and if you think that those qualities are present inside you, definitely you are going to be an entrepreneur in the future. And we all optometrists, as I told, like there are a lot of things which are untouched. We have not opened a single binocular vision clinic in the market. We have not opened a single contact lens clinic, individual contact lens clinic in the market. There is still a lot of lacking, where we can work upon, and where we can become an entrepreneur. Thank you. Thank you, Kapil. So the floor is open for the discussion. So if anybody has any confusion, definitely they can ask me. If I can, I will answer those questions. Hello, Kapil, you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful presentation, and all for all the attendees for having a passion and participation. So there is some of questions that you can see on the chat box. Can you open your chat box, sir?
Just a minute. Somebody
Like,
asks, what is prosthetic clinic? Can you please explain? Is this the question? So, like, prosthetic clinic is a clinic where we have like prosthetic eye clinic we can have where a patient who has lost his or eyes, they can be like they can be made with the artificial eye which will be looking similar to the another eye which will not be functioning, but it is basically for the cosmetic appearance. So I think Mr.
uh,
Abhishek, it is your suggestion. Definitely, it's your suggestion. I think like I really appreciate the words you have kept there. So here you have also asked, please put forward your ideas. What is your take on group entrepreneurship as less is less, of course, benefits also less, but with a more creative ideas can come for a good growth and I care. So Abhishek, can you please put your mic on and can you please elaborate a little bit question because it seems quite confusing for me.
Hello.
Yes, Abhishek. Good afternoon.
Hi, Ashesh. Good afternoon. How are you? Good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Can you
Good,
please
good.
elaborate
Yeah.
what you asked?
So I would like to listen from you about like group entrepreneurship. Like if somebody is going to start a setup, not alone, but with a group of people, like 4 or 5 people in optometry curriculum. So what is your take on that? How is that idea going to work? Because I know, of course, when 5 partners are there, profit will be less, but altogether risk is also less, and 5 of the partners can work together in a better ideas can come out. So I'd like to listen from you because you are doing this presentation, so it's better to listen what you think as an entrepreneur.
So this is really a very like good questions. I'm not an entrepreneur to answer this, but though whatever I've learned so far, Abhishek is like what I want to tell is like if you are many people, it's not always that you are gonna what you call on less. It is definitely going to be fraction among 5 people. But if you alone was earning 500 rupees, and if you 5 people are earning 5,000 rupees, then for you it is almost 1,000 rupees per head. So for this, the most important thing, what I think is like the bonding among the group, the work task or the task distribution among the group, how those people are given the tasks, and the initial time when you are starting any startup or if you are starting any business, the things should be clearly written and it should be signed. There should be some legal documents in what situation, how it gonna be like landed, and how the things is gonna move. Because if you have a very clear cut, what you call pictures and a roadmap for your future business, definitely it's not going to be fractions, but definitely there is always risk involved when there are 5 similar kind of people working in a business. But same time, it is a strength as well. If you can put it as a strength, it is a weakness as well. If you put it as a weakness. Okay, Abhishek. So what's my main point on that is like first you should be collaborating with those people with whom you are very, very confident that they are going to work in an additive manner, and there will be very, very less dispute in the future days. Another thing is like they all have their own work of areas. The work do not overlaps, and the decision making process should be very well written. Who is going to be the top person, or how the decision is going to make. There are somewhere where certain decisions has to be made by the board members, where a person alone or a CEO alone can make the decision. So these are, if you write down those all roadmaps or those all things in a very, very clear manner, and make a very, very good understanding, definitely that is going to be a good practice, I think, I would say. Is that answer addressed your question, I would say?
Of course, Ashish, it is nicely explained, and then of course one can look forward for your ideas, the ones which we have given. Like we should always work together as an like a team, and then additive ideas should be factored in while moving together. That's a great idea. Thank you, Ashish.
My pleasure, I would say. So, Ananda Podel has asked, what are the challenges that you are facing early in the entrepreneurship? What challenges you are facing? So, let me clear that I'm not an entrepreneur. So, this is the area of the interest where I always work upon. So, the things that we always gonna change means facing the challenges like any time of the point. Nothing is certain in an entrepreneurship journey. Like the current situation. If we have started a clinic just before this COVID era, what would have done? Okay, so if you had done this risk, you could have never predict. There are some risks which you can never predict, and if you are talking about the market is like very volatile market, and none of the market is should not be taken into the granted. Nobody is Nobody should be taken into granted. See, if we are thinking of a business, sometimes the patient is yours, sometimes the patient might go somewhere else. So you should be always keeping in mind in the entrepreneur, if you are becoming a successful entrepreneur, any time it can be go down. Okay, if you are already ready with that thought, then the challenges you can accept it very easily, and you should be ready how you are going to face the challenges that may be coming. That can be financial challenges, that can be the trend of the market. Let's take an example. If you bought a type of the contact lens, okay, like monthly disposable contact lenses in a volume, and the trend something like the daily disposable, people will start buying only daily disposable, then you should think how you're going to address that, talking to the company, or like by yourself, how you going to liquidate those products. Same thing in the terms of the patient as well. So if you are already ready with the coming, and by predicting that in the future such type of challenges might come, then definitely it's easy for you to tackle those challenges. So here I can find that one question, so what is fellowship and explain its benefit? Is this useful for the optometrist? Definitely. Here I don't think I mentioned anywhere fellowship. So fellowship is like upgradation of your knowledge. See, we are always learning, and we should be taking as a learner. We are never complete person. Fellowship is something that you are putting more light into a particular subject. You are becoming a master of a particular subject, and you become more experienced on that. That's what a fellowship is. To become master in something particular topic. So as Hira mentioned, Hira, that definitely we all are like focused on doing the same thing in the Nepal also. Most of the optometrists previously, whoever used to pass from teaching used to do abroad, and like whoever coming from India are doing a private practice or in a hospital. So the trend is almost same in long years. But as now I can see Kapil, like we have initiated. Even I had talked with you personally how your thinking is, and I have talked to with other people also how the new youths are coming up with new ideas. And I always emphasize that every one of us should be like thinking of what is not done in the market so far. What others are doing, definitely it's easy to do, but it's more challenging as well. So there is another question on the. We are clearly see that in the context of Nepal, without being an eye care practitioner, randomly opening 100 of optical clinic or shop without being licensed, or saying, see, like in this point, what is my opinion is like, if you have opened a clinic as an optometrist, it should be very, very well equipped with the instrument that when you open a clinic, there should be the set of binocular vision clinic. Where you are doing binocular vision clinic, you should have a tools to measure the interpupillary distance. You should always taking the interpupillary distance and taking into account when you are doing the fittings in terms of your what we call when you're explaining about the lenses, how you give the choices and all, okay, how you do the recommendation of the lenses, this will automatically get you differ from those all quack practitioners or those regular opticians which are not licensed. As an optometrist, if you don't implement your knowledge, your expertise, then even you are gonna be a same opticians. It's not only about fighting with them. If somebody comes and you make them feel that this is there here, it is something special which you cannot find in a normal opticals, where they do not take into consideration of your interpupillary distance, where they don't do your optical center marking, where they don't explain about you, where they don't explain about your computer vision syndrome patient, particular symptoms, where they don't do any cover test. Definitely they can, the patient gonna feel, or the patient gonna know what is the difference between two clinics, and they will ultimately come to yours. So this not, I always tell that it's not about like fighting with those people, rather making our own what you call identity. So Shiva is asking, fellowship is related to entrepreneur. Deeply explain about. See, like it might be related or it might not be, because to become an entrepreneur you can be just pass out and become an entrepreneur. You must have some experience, some exposure to things. You must understand the market, and then only you can start thinking about the entrepreneur. So because Shiva, if like you are thinking of something like opening, let's say, contact lens clinic or anything, then definitely you should first do fellowship in your entire segment or in contact lenses. You should be well equipped. You should be confident enough that you can handle all type of the contact lens patient. Or if you cannot handle, you have a proper place where you can refer those customers. If you create all those channels, then definitely fellowship is going to be related to the. So it is about the perception, how you. So is there any other question?
So I guess we have completed all the question. So okay, if anybody have the question and want to speak with you can unmute yourself and question.
Hello,
Hello?
Yes, this sir,
Ashish, it
yes.
was nice presentation. Hello, hello, hello.
May I know? Oh, Ajit sir. Yeah, Ajit Dai. Good afternoon.
It is a nice presentation. Just to add a few points, just I wanted to add some few points on the presentation. The question by Abhishek, which I liked very much, how to form a group. Was that a question?
Exactly.
Hello.
Like if there are more people, then the
Yeah,
like profit will be less. So how should we
yeah,
do
actually,
that?
what
What's
what is my view regarding the group formation? That I think group is formed many types. Like there are some people group. Let's say we are out on optometrist, we are friends, like 4 or 5 friends, then we have already a group. Then someone plan a new thing, and then we talk in a group that this is a plan, there is an objective, we have a need, then they go to the business. So group is already there, they form a objective and they go to the business. This is the one type of group business. Other, someone like a single person think of a business and they form a group, and then make a business, then do a business. There are these two generally do two type of group business they do. I prefer the first one because let's say if you are friend, we know our interest each other, and then if we form an objective, the business will be in long run, that will be more beneficial and more long lasting. But if a single person forms an objective, a making group, that group is likely to have failure because the interest of all the peoples will not match in long run. That is my view regarding the group business. And the next question, you have to add anything, Ashish, or are you
Uh,
satisfied with my views, or you have other?
yes. In your second type of the partnership, what we have done is like the 4 people can be the sleeping partner and one can be the like running partner. At that time, it may
No, 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 no,
run well.
no, no,
Mhm.
no, no. I'm not. No, no, I'm not talking about sleeping partner. No, the group is formed. Objective forms a group. Means there is something interest of one people. There is one more interest of one people is more than others. That's why there can be separation in long run. What I think.
Yes. In that condition, definitely.
Uh, yeah, but if there are friends and who create an objective combinedly, then they run a business that is more beneficial, and that will be in long run will be more long lasting, what I think.
Yes, definitely. So if you take this as an example,
And
like Ajit sir, can you please give an example? Like means what kind of people there might be from the different places? Like it can be an optometrist and one from one is a lawyer, one is a like what we call a software developer. So what do you think? Like means
yeah,
is that long lasting or not?
no, no, that will be lost. Let's say you and me and one doctor or lawyer are friends. Or friends. We are friends from our childhood. Then we thought together. Let's do something. Let's do an eye hospital. Let's say eye hospital. Okay. Lawyer will tell that no, no. All the legal part I will form. All the paperwork I will do. You tell no, no. I can handle all the clinical work, and other doctor can no, I will do all the surgery. Then the group will be collateral and everyone has their own work, and then there will be bonding better. And that will last long, I think. So a group, then objective, then business, that is best suited, what I think.
Yes, sir. So I also told the same
uh,
like means the work division is already there and like every person is given the respective tasks and
yeah, yeah,
the limitation of the decision and all, then that's gonna be like much more lasting.
yeah, yeah. That's why I told better to form a group which is within your colleague in friend circle. That's why it will be long lasting, what I feel. If you form a group with unknown person and he can deliver much more, but the problem will be it will be less long lasting, what I think.
The chances of failure is high actually. That's
Yes,
correct.
yes, yes, the chances of risk is more. Gain
Exactly.
is also high, but chances will be risk will be high.
Yeah.
And going to the question on Hira's question, why optometry subspecialties are not going so better in our Nepal? What I think that we are unable to show our full potential. We are unable to show our trust of our hospital that we can run a subspecialty in better way. We can make it sustainable. Previously, there was no such subspecialty in Nepal. Drishti Eye Hospital, we started different subspecialties, vision therapy, prosthesis. Now, people have come that, oh no, optometrist subspecialties there is in Nepal, it can be feasible. And that's why the first thing we have to do, that we have to tell our management, we have to assure our management that we can make this field profitable, not only sustainable, profitable. You have to give a plan, then you have to convince your management, and then the subspecialty will be developed later on, what I think in Nepal as well.
Thank you, Ajit. So there is Chandan Mahato who is asking, what is your opinion to run business and eye care service together? So what kind of business Chandan is asking about? Chandan Mahato is asking run business and eye care service. So is the business related to eye or is something else business and eye care service together? Mr. Chandan, can you please elaborate? Okay, optical business. So are you talking about wholesale or are you talking about something else? Or are you talking about the opening a private setup as well as doing eye care service in any institute? The question is not
Hello.
that clear. Ajit,
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
I guess he's talking about the detailing business.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. I hope you are hearing me.
yes, I am
Sir,
hearing you.
I'm an optometrist, sir. I'm working as an optometrist in medical college, and I have my own private setup also. I have recently
Good.
started before 5 to 6 months ago. What I am
Okay.
facing now is I have to choose one part. Like I have my own clinic. I have my own optical. So service based or business based. So sometimes I get an I had no any. I didn't charge any money for few months, 2 to 3 months. Then sometimes what I feel is people will come and they won't have any money. You what to do then? I have to I can't. I will not see you if you don't pay me for drugs. Or if recently I get one patient with conjunctivitis. At least lubricating or antibiotic I should give, but she told that I have no money. Then I told her that my first priority is service based. So if you don't pay also, I will provide you. If you have, you give. If you don't have, I then later on she didn't visit it. Next person, he came with full of alcohol. And uh, uh, he told his spectacle is broken. Okay, then I told I will repair it and provide you, and come at evening time. Then when he visit at evening time, uh, I had given him one extra spectacle for his use for full day. When he comes at evening, he has broken his previous glass that I had given him for one day only. And when he visits second time, he has no money to pay me for this also. So sometimes what I feel, in this initial phase, I should choose only service based wise, or I should also run on my own, like which part I should, like how you will advise me.
See, Chandan, without the money, like you cannot do anything. Okay, so definitely you have to run the business first before doing the service. If you start doing services in the first phase and you are not doing the businesses, then you will end up with zero money. Okay, so this time what I tell you is like if I would be in your place, definitely I will do both in the same time. See, business is done by you, but who are the people who are gonna buy? Those people those are the customers, isn't it? If you want to make you happy, if you want to make them happy, then they are not gonna tell another person to go to you, or they won't gonna come again. If these are the few cases, then definitely don't think about the business, think about the service, think about the community. As I told, as you are also becoming an entrepreneur, there are some social responsibilities to help the poor people, to make the people see without taking the money sometime. Okay, but at the same time, if you are not financially stable, then you can't do this charity for long lasting time. So Chandan, what I tell you is like, first your heart should be pure when you are working, and try to income the money, or try to earn the money with the people who can pay, and try to or segregate 5% of your total income to those people who are the needy one. So you will get the blessing of those people also, and the community also look to you in the different way. Okay, and that will definitely increase your value of your optical as well as you in the community, because your optical is not going to open for a year only. It's for 10 years, 20 years. So for that you have to make the community happy, all the customers happy, and sometimes you might end up with the loss as well. But think about the try to use that loss in a good manner. Okay, so what I suggest you is like, Chandan, if that is too long, if you have two patients who are paying and eight patients who are like doing like that, then you are not doing a sustainable business, and you will end up with losing money. Okay, you have to ask to your father for the pocket money, but don't do that. That was society social work we can do. But if there are eight people who are paying good and two people, if you can help them, then that is always gonna be good, and that will pay you in any way in the future.
Hi Ashish, again Abhishek here. So I'd like to add something onto your topic as well.
Yes.
The first and foremost challenging factor which comes while being an entrepreneur is taking the first step. Taking first step becomes more challenging because of the reason we feel we might fail, and that is why if you see a percentage out of 100, most probably like 20-25 people only chooses this option as a career. So I'll request whoever is going to start their own business, don't fear. Once you take the first initial step, that fear will go away. It's just like a routine examination which you face or which you give in your school time or college time. Once first paper of your semester is over, you feel so confident, and then you don't have that pressure of giving exams. So we should avoid that first step pressure, and that will help us to make things very much easier. Secondly, coming on to a point of, I like the question Chandan asked, which is very true. In that case, what you have always to do, you always have to come up with a plan while setting up your clinic. You have to keep 5 or 10% of your investment in a kind of miscellaneous expenses which might come at any point of time, and you don't have any idea that can come or occur to you. So you should always keep 5 or 10% of enough resources, of enough money for you, so that you can think freely, take more decisions wisely. So I'll put forward in that context. I also saw a question of somebody asking like, there are many shops or optical outlets which are not licensed. Well, it can be a case whereby there will be so much competition in the market. A place where you are going to open a shop, you'll see like 100 or 200 competitors are always there. But please remember, if you are an optometrist, you alone can make a difference by practicing a full comprehensive optometry. A person who is just coming for the refraction, you are just giving near glasses, refracting them and sending them. It's of course solving the problem, but you have to always create a difference. You have to show them that you have extra skills. You studied optometry, that's why you are different from others who are unlicensed, and then you yourself can make a difference in the society by practicing differently, by practicing comprehensive optometry technique. And then of course profit has to come, but it will take some time. You have to be patient, you have to give good service to the people, and then of course with slowly time and in a gradual way, you will see that your everything is coming in a very nice way, because you are giving 100% of your practice, whatever you know. And then people will of course accept it, because imagine a person who is going to a clinic or a optical shop who's getting refracted there and getting glasses. A person coming to your clinic getting full comprehensive eye checkup will of course feel the difference, that you know things better and you're handling them better. So of course people nowadays are very smart. They want to invest more in healthcare system, and they want better service. So if you are having better knowledge, practicing in a better way, they are of course going to come to you and will avoid going to other places. That's all, Ashish. That was my input.
Thank you, Abhishek. Definitely, that's what I was also talking, that you should always create the difference between the normal practitioner or optician and an optometrist. So there is another question by Alok. What do you think about the ill practice of the optometrists, like some optom or optical sales lower than the market price? So see, Alok, you don't have control over that. Anybody can sell the lens in the wholesale price. If they are buying in the 100 rupees, they can sell it in 101, and if you are selling it in 200 rupees, you can't have control with that. The main thing is like how you can handle it by creating the loyal customers. So if the customers are loyal to you, if you are doing enough justice with them, if you have some loyalty programs for them, definitely they are gonna come back to you rather going to the shop. And as Abhishek told, you must create some difference between that shop and your shop. How the same product buying at your shop is going to be beneficial to the customers rather than buying to the another place. So you must have that answer, how you make that patient feels better in your store in terms of his like glasses, by either by be making by taking into the consideration the optical center, by the fitting, by saying that you don't do manual fitting, you do it by your auto fitting. So there are a lot of the things what you can tell the customers how you are different from other people. If you do that, definitely that patient is gonna buy with you. If you can't speak, if you can't explain why it is like cheaper there, then definitely the patient or the customers is gonna buy from there. You can't have control on that. And see, this happens, Rajiv. I appreciate your question. What about same product selling at different prices? So here, why it's happening? Because we are not dealing with any brands. We are dealing with the local people or non-professional people. Here, even in Nepal, the person who is selling lenses in the big volume, even they don't know about the meaning of anti-reflection coating. They don't know what is eye index, what is the property of the eye index. So if we do not upgrade ourselves, if we don't put the pressure on them that if you are not keeping the prices same, if we are not giving, if we are not gonna stop giving the lenses to those who are making the market bad, then it is gonna be happening. So for that, what should be happening is like we should be attached with the brands. We should have our own identity, and definitely like for some people you don't have any control. Okay, for something you can't do anything, but if the same product that is a branded product or a good product selling at the different prices, then definitely you should talk to the owner or the person who is taking care of the brand and complain how we can address them. But for the local products, I don't think you can have any control for that, Raj.
Okay, sir. I guess we have answered many of the questions. So still we have the time. If anybody want to speak, please you can unmute yourself and push with the question. So I have one query. You used to say that most of the time the profit things, but so difficult when we are thinking about the investment and the investment regarding the in first phases. So there are some protocol like the bank or some of the Sahkari that the people are give also loan for the certain period in a high rate of interest. So what is about taking the money from the such type of bank or other the financial companies to support the business?
See, Kapil, yeah, even I'm not that expert on finance, but what I know so far is like it's all depends upon your like return on the over your principal or return over the investment. If your return you think like very good, or if you are very confident in your business that it is gonna be boom, if you open a business, taking the loan is always a good idea. See, because you can't put your father's money because he has already invested you a lot in your academics. So definitely at the time, if you think to make something in a big manner, or you if you think to open a optical shop, and if you don't have that clear picture in the mind that how many patients are gonna come in that community, how much you are gonna get the income in next 6 months, then it can be a disaster for you. So what my suggestion is like to calculate the risks before starting, and calculate the income the same time. How much income you can generate for 6 months? Like in the first month, there might not be any sale. For next month, there might be some sales, or like say 1 lakh a month. Next 6 months, I will reach on this. For this, I will do these steps. So if you have a clear cut maps how you are gonna get generate that amount, then taking the loan, it's gonna be like useful, because it is like you have to pay that in a year, okay, or it can be a term loan as well. So it is not always good or bad taking the loan, but you should be having the answer how you are gonna be paying the interest as well as the principal amount of that loan. If like you are just taking like say you are just thinking to open a clinic, but you don't have a clear map how many population lives there, what is the need in that area, how your opticals is gonna work, then and what is your plans for education the opticals, what all things you are gonna do to increase the sales. If you don't have a clear cut picture, then that time it is a very like wrong decision to take a loan, what I feel, it's my opinion. But if you have a clear cut picture how you are gonna get the return over your investment, how much income you are gonna get next 3 months, 6 months, or a year, then definitely if you are confident enough that you can get back those amount, then definitely it's a good idea. Kapil.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I guess we have answered many of the questions. So uh, considering the time limits, here I announce the closure of the discussion session. Before ending the today's session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude towards the presenter, Ashesh sir, and all the attendees, and also I'd like to appreciate all the helping hands for the iTouch program. Herewith, I am ending the today's session, requesting all you please review and give your feedback. Stay safe, keep in touch, and once again, thank you so much, sir, having with you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Kapil. Thank you for letting me giving the presentation, and it was very wonderful session and very interactive. And I like to thank every participant who become the attendees, and Ajit Dai and Abhishek. Special thanks to you both to putting light into the few like controversial topics. Thank you, Kapil.
Sir, have a good